this video is going to be a quick explanation of the pretest, and I'm going to kind of go through every single problem and tell you all the answers, everybody's favorite. So let's get to it. So let's take a look at this. So the first question here, well, the first thing, it says that this pretest was not graded, but again, the post-test is going to be super duper similar. Question 1 through 5 are about pigs. The gene in pigs that codes for the shape of its tail has 2 alleles. The dominant allele, big T, codes for a curly tail, and the recessive allele, little t, codes for a straight tail. So here we have to know what dominant and recessive mean as far as alleles go. The first question is a multiple choice, and it says tail-shaped pigs is an example of a or and blank. Super simple format, should remind you of your other word of the day quizzes. But anyway, tail shape. Tail shape is something you see. A gene is not something you see. A gene is a piece of DNA that codes for a trait. It's in the DNA. A trait, that's something we see. We'll get back to that later. An allele is a form of a gene, again in the DNA. Tail shape isn't a kind of DNA. It's what happens because of the DNA. Therefore, it's trait. The answer is trait. Okay, so let's look at question 2. So question 2 through 4 are super duper similar. They're asking, what would the tail of a pig with the alleles, and they're different for each other, the alleles big T for tail shape look like? Draw or write your answer here. So let's go ahead and look back up here. It says the dominant allele codes for a curly tail, and that's a picture of a curly pigtail. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a curly pigtail because that is what it says big T codes for. So there's my curly tail. Question 3 is super duper similar again, except it says the alleles little t. So what would the tail of a pig with the alleles little t for tail shape look like? Draw or write your answer here. So little t, the recessive allele, codes for a straight tail. So it's going to be a straight tail. Now, this question is the trickiest of the 3 what does the allele blah 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 code for. Now, it has both a big T and a little t. And the big T and little t are dominant and recessive. And if we remember what dominant means, it means that's the yelled instruction. So if you have both a dominant and a recessive instruction, you're going to follow the dominant one. Caps lock is on, it's being yelled, and dominant again is curly. So we're going to have a curly tail, and it's going to look exactly the same as our normal dominant curly tail. It's not going to be half straight, half curly. It's just going to be normal curly. Okay? So we have curly tail, straight tail, curly tail. Now, let's look at question 5, the hardest question on the front page. It says, create a Punnett square to show the tail shape possibilities in the offspring of a purebred pig with a straight tail mating with a hybrid pig. First thing I want you to notice, I had the spacing a bit off in some versions of the test. This is one where the spacing is fixed. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So a purebred pig with a straight tail. So we have to know what a purebred is and a hybrid is. Purebred means both alleles are the same. Hybrid means they're different. If you remember heterozygous, homozygous, if you're a parent, that's what we're using for those terms. Anyway, hybrid is the easy one to remember because it is the big T, little t. So we have a big T and a little t for the hybrid pig. That's what the hybrid one is. And a purebred pig with a straight tail. Okay, straight tail. Straight tail is this one. And straight tail is little t. So purebred pig with a straight tail is going to have 2 of the same, little t. So purebred with a straight tail is little t, little t. So these are our parent 1s and parent 2s. These are some sloppy little t's. They're both little t's. And with the Punnett square, we set it up so we have mom on top and dad on the side, or parent 1 and parent 2. So we're going to put the 2 alleles from one parent on top and 2 alleles from the other parent on the side. So let's go ahead and call this one mom. Mom on top, and then the one on side, dad. Okay? Now, we have from one parent 2 little t's. So we can go ahead and put them here and here. Little t, little t. And from the other parent, we have a big T and a little t. So I'm going to go ahead and put them here. So we have big T from dad, and this big T continues through. So this one goes here and here, and this one from dad goes here and here, little t's. Now let's look at moms. So this one will go here and here. And this one will go here and here. So that way this box is a combination of this egg and this sperm, this box is a combination of this egg and this sperm, this box is a combination of this egg and that sperm, this box is this egg and that sperm. So we make all of our possible combinations here. So we made our Punnett square. That was a Punnett square. Let's look at A. A says list all possible allele combinations for the offspring. So the allele combinations are what's inside the box. So we have a choice of, like on top, big T, little t. Or it looks like little t, little t. Now, if there's only one choice in these boxes, you would only write one set of alleles there. And if there were multiple choices, we would write multiple choices. Here there are just big T, little t, and little t, little t. Now, if you have like a little t, big T, so something that looks like that, with a little t and a big T, that's the same thing as big T, little t. So go ahead and just write little t, big T, or big T, little t in this box, because that's the same thing, okay? So that's how you answer A on that. B on this says, what are the chances the offspring will have a curly tail? So what are the chances the offspring will have a curly tail? So let's look at these. Will this one have a curly tail? Remember, curly tail is dominant. We can also check back up here. Oh, hey, look, alleles big T, little t code for a curly tail. So yes, that one will have a curly tail. This one's the same as it, so yes, it will also have a curly tail. This one won't have a curly tail. It's two little t's. Little t codes for a straight tail, and little t codes for a straight tail. So it looks like 2 out of 4. So blank of blank means 2 out of 4. So 2 out of 4 will have a curly tail, and 2 out of 4 is 50%, like 2 quarters is 50 cents. Now, that means the other two, these two, are going to have a straight tail, which is what this question is asking. What are the chances that the offspring will have a straight tail? And that will be, again, 2 out of 4, or 50%. Because again, half of the boxes would code for a straight tail, and half of the boxes would code for a curly tail. Sweet. So that's the front page. On the back,